Greetings again, and my name is Mary-Ann Tabraka, and I head up the Family Life and Marriage Desk at St. Charles in Victory Park. As explained in the previous videos, we're using this ministry to create an awareness around violence against women and children, in line with the theme of this year's 16 Days of Activism Against Gender-Based Violence. So, what do I see in my work? My day job is a counselor, and I have been for many years, but for the last 3 years, the Lord seems to have moved me into an area I had actually never known existed. And that's a very long story, and I can talk about it at some other time. But suffice to say, I'm currently specializing in betrayal trauma, which means I try to help women mostly, but there are men, who are experiencing trauma symptoms since the discovery of their partner's sexual habits and addictions, like pornography. I think you know the extent of this monster infiltrating our devices and our homes, and many studies show that the majority of men and a growing number of women consume porn. The use of pornography, where women and increasingly children are commodified, degraded, and reduced to objects for not only sexual gratification, but the biggest thing here is for monetary gain. And this has skyrocketed, especially since lockdown. What I see in my work now is this form of violence against women and increasingly against children. And it's called sexual violence. And it is rarely spoken about. It is a taboo subject, especially in church environment. Victims are coerced by the porn user into either acting out a scene as well as performing in these kinds of videos. So mainstream pornography is rife with sexist, misogynistic, racist, and violently abusive themes. And sadly, these kinds of videos are easily accessible by not only our spouses, but our vulnerable children. And it's causing untold emotional, psychological, and especially in children, developmental harm as far as the brain goes. So studies are revealing that there is a correlation between pornography consumption and sexually violent behavior, as well as criminal sexual behavior. There's a well-established relationship between porn consumption and attitudes supportive of sexual violence and actual sexual aggression. Accumulated data indicate that those who use porn more regularly have attitudes that are conducive to engaging in aggressive sexual behavior. So just think for a minute of the increase in child-on-child sexual violence that we are witnessing, we're hearing about in the media, that's happening in schools. Mainstream pornography is contributing to the child sex abuse crisis, without a doubt. And how does this happen? Well, repeated exposure to pornography can result in habituation to the natural response to sexual stimuli, meaning that so-called mainstream pornography must seek more extreme and even criminal content to satisfy that sexual response. There are so many resources to help you to educate your children, to educate yourself about the dangers of being on online social media platforms that have become the in-your-home sexual grooming haven for sexual perpetrators. So for those of you who are struggling with possibly pornography consumption or pornography addiction, and I know there are many of you out there, and if you are struggling with sexual aggression, sexual violence, please know that there is help for you and you can contact us. There's a lot here that I could go on about, but if you want to know more about it, or if you need any more information or assistance in any way, please contact the Family Life and Marriage Ministry via the parish office, and the details will be found at the end of the video. God bless.